Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Diablo 3. My name is Wilfred. So in every season, I'll try to make a video on Set Dungeon. Not my favorite game mode, but it's something that we have to do to master Set Dungeon for our season journey. So in this season, I'm playing the Necromancer and I'll be doing the Inarius Set Dungeon for you guys. Now this is one of the easiest one. So it's good because it doesn't have to be hard. You just have to complete it so that you can get on with the journey. So in order to get to the Inarius Set Dungeon, had to add one Drown Temple and just zoom into the map and head down to the temple below, enter the temple and then walk through the bridge. And you will see the Set Dungeon entrance once you have all 6 pieces of Inarius. So now the objectives are pretty straightforward. You just need to rip the bones from 100 enemies with the bone armor and kill 200 enemies that are afflicted by bone armor tornado, or some people call it bone storm. So the third set bonus of an Inarius is that when you use a bone armor, you create a tornado around you, like you see right here. So that is called a bone storm. Some of us call it that way. So now this dungeon doesn't really require you a lot of preparation at all. So the moment you get your 6 pieces of Inarius, my advice to you is just to go ahead and do it, get it done with, and forget about it. Reason why is that the higher your gear, the harder for you to complete the dungeon. Actually, it's a little bit counterintuitive because you need to rip the bones from the target, and if your bone storm is too powerful because of your gear, then the enemy just all die before you can rip any bones from anywhere. So if that's the case, well, worries not. It's one of the happy problem that you have. Just continue ticking off the gear. So I'll start with resetting the Paragon level. Just put the points onto the movement speed as well as the cooldown reduction, and a little bit of defense as well, of course. Then the rest of it just leave it as it is. Or you can start to take out gear one by one. I usually start with the ring as well. Take down the ring, take down the legendary gem until a point whereby you can complete the dungeon. That's about it. And a little bit patient as well. Very much like the one of the set dungeon in Witch Doctors, which I also put it on the video before. Just be patient. Your bone armor has a cooldown, so if you pop the bone armor and you know that you're going to head to the next big group, just wait out a little bit or pull back a little bit, and then just use a blood rush to go in and do a rip the bone and so on. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does. The good thing about this set dungeon is that it doesn't require you to be perfect in terms of you don't have to hit all the enemies, rip the bones from most enemies and so on. There's sufficient amount of mobs for you to rip the bones. That is the good news of it. Right. So now some people in the past will ask me what kind of gear I use, what kind of gear I cube it into Kanai cube. Well, the good news about Inarius is that you don't need to think about all these things. In fact, it doesn't really matter what you put into your cube at all. Some people will find it advantage to use the Indium, which is one of the staff. What it does is that whenever you kill an elite, you reset your cooldown, and that helps your bone armor, of course, because you want the cooldown to be reset. But suffice to say, you don't really see a lot of elites on this map, so the help is going to be marginal, and you have way sufficient amount of time to finish whatever objective you want to do. It's not going to be hard at all. Just make sure you stay alive. Don't make too much mistake, and pop your health potion if you need to. But all in all, once you've done, then you can use whatever power that you have to kill off all the mobs as fast as you can, which in my case is the Corp Lance, but it could be anything for you. Now make sure you don't have any minion with you, because they tend to kill off the mobs quite fast. Make sure you don't have your followers with you as well, because that would probably it wouldn't help. Having the follower, just you alone. You may even use the passive on standalone. That will give you extra armor if you a little bit afraid of some of these mob may kill a character and fail the whole set dungeon. So that's about it, really. I mean, I'm scratching my head to give you even more useful kind of tips, but they aren't really. Just put some points in cooldown reduction. Make sure you don't have your follower minions, and make sure that choose standalone. That will help you to have more armor and so on. But that's about it. 2 powers that you need are Blood Rush as well as Bone Armor. If you want to slot in one extra one, be as just anything, could be a Corp Lance, whatever it is, to help you kill off the mobs faster, so be it. But you don't really need anything else besides these 2 powers, or 3, if so you wish to. Alright, so I hope you find this I won't say useful, but entertaining, because it is really straightforward. But as always, any question that you have, feel free to drop me a note here, and have fun with season 17. My wife and I are having a lot of fun playing every night. Alright, see you again soon. Goodbye.